What is up, everyone? Welcome to the very first video on the Great Onigiri Man channel. Today I'm going to be doing a manga collection video to start the channel off. I've been putting off making this channel for over a year now, and I guess we just need to take the plunge and start releasing videos. I think usual content will be more anime manga reviews, but yeah. Wee manga collection to get the channel started sounded good to me. Just before we get started, I kept putting off this video because I keep ordering and pre-ordering things, and I kept thinking I'll wait until it comes before I do the video. But if you do that, you keep ordering things and the video never gets made. So I'll quickly run through everything that I have pre-ordered that isn't here. There's Berserk Deluxe Edition Volume 11. The Death Note short stories, it's like a one-off. We've got the first 6 perfect editions of Soul Eater pre-ordered and ordered. We have the 4th box set of One Piece. It's been delayed in the UK now for about 7 months and is still not out until July, so that sucks ass. And what else? I just ordered tonight actually the full set of Goodnight Poon Poon, because all I hear about it is how amazing it is, and the scores on my anime list are just insane. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So right up the top here we have Bakuman 1 to 20, that's the complete set. I actually just went on a whim years ago and bought the box set knowing nothing about Bakuman, and turned out to be one of my favourite series of all time. It's just such a feel-good slice of life, I guess you'd call it. It's about 2 guys in school who decide to team up and become mangakas for Shonen Jump, or Shonen Jack as they call it in the series. By the creators of Death Note, so how could it go wrong? Yeah, would highly recommend to anyone. It's not as boring as it seems. Manga about people drawing manga sounds boring, but honestly, see, whenever you're waiting to see how well they did with last week's issue and seeing the ideas and competition, oh man, it's hard to explain. It is very hard to explain. It kind of gives me that sports anime manga vibe where you're like, how is this just as interesting as it is? But yeah, I would totally recommend this for anyone. Not sure how hard the box sets are to get these days. I should have mentioned also, I'm UK based, so it's not that easy for me to get some things as it is for American audiences, and some places in Europe. For some reason, some things are just super hard to get in the UK now. Even when they're quite new, they go out of stock and it's just impossible to ever get them again. But yes, sorry, Bakuman, couldn't recommend enough, love it, and yeah, that was from the box set, complete set. Next we have volumes 1 to 48 of Bleach, so that's up until the end of some people call it the Aizen arc, some people call it the Arankar arc. Yeah, Bleach, I grew up in the big 3, absolutely love Bleach. Tite Kubo's art is probably my favourite out of the big 3, out of Kishimoto and Oda as well. Not to say that they aren't great, I just think Tite Kubo's character design and art just is it's the coolest looking. But yeah, I love Bleach so much, and all I can say is it gets too much shit these days. You know, it's called the big 3 for a reason. They're all fantastic, and all I hear these days is people shitting on Bleach. Do not get it. But yeah, there we go. Love Bleach, and I do hope to get the rest, but unfortunately I left it too many years to get the 3rd box set, and I'm really picky with the Shonen Jump logos. I would like to have the old Shonen Jump logo, so it's all the same, and from the era that it came out in, because Bleach is something I grew up on. You know, it was the 2nd anime I ever watched, and yeah, it would just be nice to have the wee circles at the top. But yep, Bleach, awesome, love it. Moving on, we have 1 to 5 of Blue Exorcist. Not gonna lie, got this when it was airing as an anime back in the day, same as Bleach. Not bad. I thought the anime was a bit boring. I haven't revisited it ever again. And I have this general rule that I've kind of come up with where I'll buy the first 5 volumes of a series, and if it's just not blowing me away, I just don't continue buying it. So yeah, Blue Exorcist, really great art, but kind of forgettable series. Wouldn't recommend, honestly. There's better shonen out there. And then next up we got volumes 1 to 13 of Boruto, and that is because big Naruto fan, and I checked out the anime when it first aired, watched the first 20 something episodes and thought it was utter shit, but was told that the first arc is filler. And then I rewatched Naruto with my girlfriend, and she was fucking obsessed with it, so she actually bought this Boruto series here. I've only read up to volume 7, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it's pretty ass, and I'm not just jumping on the bandwagon. You know, if you'll see later on, there's series that most people hate that I love, but Boruto really is just disappointing, and I don't know, some people love it, but I personally think it's been ass so far. As I said, 7 volumes in, I feel like I haven't seen, I don't know, it's just too focused on Boruto himself, and he is just an unlikable dude. Also really pisses me off that we have a mix of new and old shonen logos here. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, it's really down to the GF if she wants to continue this one, but I'll probably read up until 13, and if anything changes, I mean, I hope it gets good. I've heard it gets good, but yeah, so far, did not like. Anyway, next we have volumes 1 to 12, which is the complete set of Death Note. And, you know, Death Note is like the gateway anime for people to get into anime. I'd say, like, I don't think there's another, maybe Dragon Ball Z and stuff, and Naruto, but I think Death Note got more people into anime back in the day, whenever, you know, the early 2000s, and oh man, what is there to say, really? Masterpiece. Even to this day, it's definitely up there in my top 5 series of all time. I used to think the second half was pretty weak, but going back and rewatching it and reading it, it's actually not anywhere near as bad as I remembered, and honestly, it's not even bad. It's still fantastic. It's just, how do you live up to the first half of Death Note? It's just impossible. But yes, those 12 are actually from the box set as well. Really happy to have them. They're really some of the most beautiful matte covers of any manga in my collection. Love them to bits. Next we have volumes 1 to 13 of Deadman Wonderland. Got these whenever the anime was airing and it wasn't going to get a continuation. And I've never actually read them. I had to buy the entire set, pretty expensive, to even get the second half of these. I think it was volumes 8 to 13 I didn't have, and I couldn't buy them individually anywhere. So I bought a full set and sold volumes 1 to 6, just so that I had a full set. Yeah, really looking forward to reading that one day, but other things keep popping up, especially with anime. Like, I prefer to watch things than read, but Deadman Wonderland, I know I'll enjoy it. I just have to get round it. Really love the way they're matte, black and white as well. Looks beautiful. Next up we have JoJo. We've got all of part 1, all of part 2, all of part 3, all of part 4, and we've got the first 3 volumes currently out in English for part 5. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to go into JoJo. You either love it or hate it. Part 1, kinda, I mean, it feels harsh to say it, but it is pretty shit. Unless you're like a diehard JoJo fan. Part 1 is, it's not strong. It's not strong at all. In fact, it would put you off watching all of JoJo. Part 2 really picked it up. You know, young Joseph is my favourite JoJo character, and he's just hilarious. Caesar is a legend. Even the Pillar Men are like some of the best bad guys in JoJo, in my opinion. Part 3 could have been shorter, but it is absolutely legendary, super iconic. Couldn't recommend it enough, you know, like, especially the last, or even the second half, when they're actually in Egypt, it's amazing. Like, oh man, I cried so bad twice. You know what I'm talking about if you've read it or watched it. Part 4, kind of weird, shifted into sort of a slice of life mixed with the JoJo formula. Really funny, probably up there in my opinion. I know a lot of people would put this under some of the other parts, but I consider that maybe my second favourite. And then part 5, I've watched the anime, obviously, it's fantastic, and I haven't actually read part 5, but yep, it's also very good. All the characters and character designs are just another level. Also, I really love part 4 and 5's like design for the hardbacks here. They're matte with those awesome little diamond designs, and on this one, I'm not even sure what those are, but yeah, they look epic. Next, we have the full set 1 to 16 of Dragon Ball, and that's part of the box set as well. Currently, actually reading this. I'm on volume 7. Really funny. I grew up in Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball, and it's good to go back and read it because it's actually nothing like Dragon Ball in my opinion, or Dragon Ball Z, sorry. Really funny. It's a lot more funny than Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, really surprised me actually. I'm really happy I bought it. I need to get the Dragon Ball Z box set, but I just can't get a good price on it. Every time it goes out of stock, it's up to like 250 quid, and am I fuck paying for that? Okay, next up we have the rarest set in my collection, I'd say. This is Future Diary, volumes 1 to 10, which is all that was ever released in English. There was 12 in Japanese, but Tokyo Pop went bust before they got to air the last 2 volumes. Volumes 1 to 9 are the original like matte, which is really good. I'm so happy to have them. Volume 10 here is actually, it's got like a gloss finish, and it's like a reprint, an American reprint. I'm not 100% sure if it's official. I hope it is, but yeah, I cannot find the original matte edition for volume 10 anywhere, and I've been looking for like 2 years, especially in the UK. It is impossible. But yeah, as I was saying earlier on, I know a lot of people hate some series and love to shit on things, but I love Future Diary. It is genuinely in my top 3 anime of all time, and I know I'll get slated for that, but I don't give a fuck. So yeah, really happy to have that. It honestly, I'm so happy I got it when I did, because now it's actually impossible to get. But yep, that's Future Diary. Next up we have High School of the Dead. This is another anime, or manga, sorry, I grabbed up whenever the anime was popping off years ago. I've never read it. In fact, volumes 2 to 7 are sealed. I think I just had a peek at volume 1 back in the day. So they're in perfect condition, still in the wrap, and it's because, or I bought them because the series obviously ends after 1 season, but I think it's volumes 6 and 7 go past the first season, even though the series never got complete in manga or anime form. Yeah, really cool to have. I guess I'll read it one day, not up there. It was kind of like Blue Exorcist. It was just popular at the time, and I was collecting what was, I was into when I was younger. I actually haven't gone back and watched it in years. I wonder if it'd be as good as I remembered. Probably not. But yes, young teenage me probably just saw Bobs and thought, yes, this is the best thing ever. But yeah, High School of the Dead, glad I have it. Pretty rare as well. Next up we have volumes 1 to 36, which is the complete set except for volume 25 actually, of HunterXHunter. This is my favourite shonen of all time. Love it to bits. I think it's personally the most perfect shonen of all time. Even though it's not finished, I just would love for Togashi to continue it, but I really, really, really highly doubt he'll ever release anything else. This hiatus is getting very long, and the man is in very poor health. But yeah, I just hope that he is all good, because he's pumped out not one but two absolute masterpieces. And as much as I want to be selfish and say do more, which he should, you know, the man's life comes first, and I would love Yu Hakusho, by the way, in my collection, but it's another impossible one to get unless you're willing to spend like 500 quid, so I guess I'll never get that. And I also believe Togashi should totally get someone else to draw it and continue the story. I know that's what a lot of people say. I agree, but from what I read, he's a very hard man to persuade. Even like his assistant wasn't able to draw things a lot of the time, and you know what? It's his series, he can do what he wants. But yeah, it sucks ass, we'll never get more of that. But love HunterXHunter to bits. Absolutely amazing. Next up we have Is This a Zombie?, which is a real random anomaly in this collection, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I suppose it's kind of similar or in the same genre as High School of the Dead. This is just another one that I found hilarious, the anime anyway, as a kid, and bought the manga, never read it, never really intend to read it. I'd say most things in my collection I love and have because I still have because I love them. This is a weird one because I actually rewatched it a couple years ago and thought it was shit. I don't know why, my tastes have clearly changed, but yeah, it wasn't as good as I remembered, but I guess we got the full series, like that was it, volumes 1 to 8 is the whole thing, so yeah, Is This a Zombie? Random one, but there it is. Next up we got volumes 1 to... where are we? Whoa. All the way up to volume 72, that's the entire set of Naruto, as you Americans call them. But yep, volume 1 to 72 of Naruto, absolute masterpiece, not a lot to say other than, you know, it's another one of the big three, it's another masterpiece. Did fall off towards the end, but I love Naruto. In fact, this volume 1 is the very first manga book I ever bought in my life. I mean, you can even see volumes 1 to 9, or 1 to even 15, have got sun damage because I had them in my bedroom in the sun for years and years and years, and then continued later on. We got the second and third box set at a really good price, so that was nice. But those are actually singles that I collected and bought individually back in the day. But yeah, love Naruto. Honestly, so happy to have the whole set in my collection because it's starting to get pricey now. Like most things, actually. But yeah, there we go. Volumes 1 to 72 of Naruto. Plus, we actually have all the stories and like side books and that extra, whatever it's called, the 7th Hokage volume that came out. I personally haven't read any of these, but I know a lot of them were animated, like the Sasuke and Itachi story. And yeah, I'll get around to it eventually, but that was purchases for the girlfriend again. She loves her Naruto. Next up, we have volumes... we're gonna have to stand up. Woo! Okay, we got volumes 1 to 34. And then we've got volumes 35 all the way up to volumes 70 of One Piece. Yeah, One Piece is probably my favourite of the big three. Absolutely adore it to bits. As I said, I've got the next box set pre-ordered, but it keeps getting delayed. So we really do have up to volumes 90, plus a few other single volumes on the way. Love it, really happy I have it. Wish I got box set 3 with the old Shonen logo, but hey ho, what can you do? I'm just glad I have it, to be honest, because again, there's a few volumes that go out of stock and just never get restocked, and it's a nightmare trying to get them. So this up here takes us to the end of Punk Hazard, I believe. But yeah, it'll be good to finally get that next box set, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and start reading the manga instead of following the anime, because I'll still watch it, but I'll read it before I watch it, because I cannot watch an episode a week. It just destroys things for me. But yeah, there we go. One Piece looking beautiful, and then we've got the two Aces stories at the end there. Still have to read those, only got them recently. But yeah, really looking forward to that. Next we have Prison School Volumes 1 to 14. That's the full set, and I'm not gonna lie, when I watched the Prison School anime, I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Picked up the manga and I was like, wow, this goes on way longer than the anime. And oh man, I was not ready for the laughs I was gonna get. I think it is one of the funniest things I've ever read in my life, and it is top tier in terms of like comedy, in my opinion. I would put it right up there as a manga. I'd put it right up there in like my top 3, and I'm not even taking the piss. I absolutely adore it. The guy's art is fucking amazing. It's just so weird to see such a unbelievably talented artist do a comedy series. But yeah, he hits the nail on the head. Character design's fantastic. There's actually plot, believe it or not, and arcs, and man, Prison School is just so funny. Couldn't recommend it enough. Next up we have Raw Hero, volumes 1 to 6, that's complete set. This is the series that Akira from Prison School did afterwards. It's just wrapped up in the past year. Not as good at all. It's not bad, but it's not good. Oh man, I wouldn't recommend it. That's why it wrapped up after 6 volumes, but I've only read half of it, and honestly I just got the other 3 for completion's sake. Again, the art, fantastic. Story, kind of weird. It's about a cross-dressing agent or spy, and it's typical Prison School humor. Yeah, if you like Prison School, you might like Raw Hero, but it's definitely not as good, so don't go in expecting much. But yeah, I'm glad that wrapped up, because I wouldn't be buying much more of it. Next up, we've got the Quintessential Quintuplets, volumes 1 to 14. Absolutely loved the anime. I've watched season 1 and 2, and I'm waiting for the movie to come out. So I actually haven't read the manga because I'm waiting for the movie. But I thought I would buy the volumes now before they get really expensive, because that just seems to be the way of things. If you don't buy them when they come out or pre-order them, it's twice the price a month later. So that was the complete set, but individuals didn't actually get the box sets for those, or the box set, because the second one's not out. Next up we have Shaman King volumes 1, 2 and 3, and I've never read these. I've never watched Shaman King, but I got these for £3 each in a charity store once in Edinburgh. So yep, got those, happy to have them. Quite hard to find these days, but yeah, I probably won't even read them, I'll be honest, but it's nice to have in the collection. Next up we have the entirety of Soul Eater, volumes 1 to 25, and this is my favourite series of all time, nearly. Absolutely love Soul Eater. As I said, I've got volumes 1 to 6 of the Perfect Editions on the way. Really happy to have the original singles here, because they're getting super rare. Not even super rare, just super expensive. But yeah, man, I love it. Love the anime, and when I read the manga, I was like, holy shit, they destroyed the anime. It is way better in the manga, man. It is so much better. There's side characters that like are full, like blown, like main characters, and it's not even close. The anime needs to be redone just to do it in terms of story justice, but I think they did the anime in terms of animation and soundtrack and everything so perfect the first time that I just don't think we'll ever get it down the way we want. But yep, love Soul Eater, absolutely love it. I would recommend it to anyone. In fact, I would say it's underrated by today's standards. It's kind of being forgotten about a wee bit, which sucks, but yeah, hilarious, absolutely fantastic, and just I haven't got enough I cannot say enough good things about it. Go watch it or read it. And if you missed out on the singles, you can get the perfect editions that are coming out now. There's only 6 out as of now, but yeah, they look great. Really nice yellow hardbacks. So yep, that's Soul Eater. Soul Eater Not, volumes 1 and 2. There's 5. This was a spin-off of Soul Eater. It's more of a, I don't know, like a slice of life, maybe. Yeah, how do you even explain it? Kind of reminded me of K-On! Or something. Not my cup of tea. Got volumes 1 and 2 and thought this is nothing like Soul Eater, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. It wasn't supposed to be like Soul Eater, it's just the same universe. It follows a few wee girls in the academy, but yeah, don't recommend it, honestly. And there's only 5 volumes, but I do want to pick up the rest just to have them, seeing as there's only 3 there left that I don't have. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it just because you like Soul Eater. Next up, we have quite a new edition, and one I'm watching currently, Fire Force volumes 1 to 5. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've been quite disappointed with this so far. Not the manga, the anime. I think it's super boring, honestly. I mean, I'm 13 episodes into season 1, and yeah, it doesn't hit the same as Soul Eater. It does have wee quirks like Soul Eater, but it just misses the mark for me personally so far. Yeah, I found out, and the reason I actually went to watch it and bought these first 5 volumes was because I found out when it finished there that it is the same. It's actually a prequel to Soul Eater in a weird way. Even though it's not necessarily very like Soul Eater. Lots of people love it, it's quite popular, but I think it's very underwhelming. I wouldn't even recommend it. And I don't think I'll collect any more, to be honest, unless the anime really picks up here, but I really don't think it will, unfortunately. So yeah, Fire Force, bit of a letdown for me. Quite sad about that, because as I said, if you couldn't tell, I absolutely love Soul Eater, but yeah, Fire Force, I'd say watch it before you start buying the manga, and if you don't like the anime, don't buy the manga. It's, the animation's beautiful, and it has its moments, but overall, quite boring. So yeah, next we have Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, volumes 1 to 9. That's the complete set. Big Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan growing up. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series is super expensive and incredibly hard to find, but luckily I got Yu-Gi-Oh! GX 1 to 9 here. GX is actually my favourite of the series anyway. I just grew up absolutely loving it and playing the card game. Loved the cards. I think the card game was at its best during this in 5Ds. But yeah, really cool to have. It's a different story than the manga, or sorry, the anime. So it's cool to have, and yeah, really happy I have it. I would love to pick up original Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, but I just don't see it happening with how expensive it is these days. Now, coming down here, we have some real random stuff. We have the first, or all 3 of the Bleach novels. Haven't read them. They look like I will enjoy them, but I haven't actually watched or read the 1000-Year Blood War arc yet. And obviously these are based around that, so I don't want to read those yet until they air the anime for it all. I'm really looking forward to the return of Bleach. And down here we have some drunken purchases. Now, I don't speak Japanese, but I am a huge fan of Back End Test, the anime. So I bought the Japanese manga because it never got released in English, which is really stupid because, well, I'll just never be able to read it. But I can look at the nice pretty pictures and wish that I could speak Japanese. Similarly, we have 2 more volumes there of School Days, which I know some people find atrocious, other people love it. I loved it. I really liked the series. It was maybe the 6th anime I ever watched, and it just shook me. At that age, I was like, what the fuck? Did not see the last episode or a couple episodes coming. But yeah, I was watching it one night with a wee bottle of Prosecco, and I was like, you know what? That was fantastic. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I loved it, and I ordered the 2 manga volumes from Japan. Next up we have Chainsaw Man, volumes 1 to 10. I have not actually read these, I just bought them. The anime adaptation's coming out this year, and honestly it looks fantastic. It's really blown up in popularity. Usually, again, I know my rule is I buy the first 5, but I just have so much faith in this one that I bought the first 10 for a really good price. And yeah, haven't read it, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be bitchin'. It looks really... it looks refreshing for Shonen Jump, because the next wave of Shonen Jump series really didn't tickle my fancy. My Hero Academia and all that, just never my cup of tea. But yeah, looking forward to Chainsaw Man. And then I guess finally we have the first 10 hardbacks of Berserk. And this is something I never watched or read when I was younger. Or even until this year, actually. People have been telling me it's the best thing since sliced bread for years, and the amount of times my flatmates were trying to get me to read it was unbearable. But I gave in eventually, and the Black Swordsman arc was a bit slow. I really didn't see the fuss at that point, but then when I read the Golden Age arc, holy shit, did it shoot up into my top 3 manga of all time. It is absolutely phenomenal. I've only read the first 5 volumes, and then I had to take a break. I felt rage and sadness unlike any other manga has ever been able to pull out of me. But oh man, I know people never shut the fuck up about Berserk, but it's for good reason. It is fucking fantastic, and I can't wait to continue it. It's really sad that the series will never get finished, and I can only imagine how shit it is for people who grew up watching and reading this, for the past decade plus. But yeah, so far Berserk has just blown my mind. It is just so unexpectedly good. Can't recommend it enough. I know a lot of people actually like to include wee trigger warnings, because Berserk it's pretty brutal, and it's based in the Middle Ages, so there's a lot of how do you put it, a lot of things that just aren't acceptable and hard to watch for some people. So I would say do your research before you dive into Berserk. But yeah, I loved it. I think it's fantastic so far, and I look forward to continuing it. So that's it. That is my entire manga collection as of 2022. As I said, there's a lot of stuff on the way, and I don't know whether to do these every 6 months or every year. But yeah, I love manga, I love anime, and I'd say that this is only going to grow bigger and bigger as time goes on. We'll do a quick speed bonus round for the anime Funko, because I know some people would love that. We got Naruto, more Naruto, the Baby Metal Girls, Naruto and Toad hiding back there. Then we've got some One Piece. And then we've got some more Naruto. And we've got HunterXHunter here, which are some of my favorites. We have some Soul Eater. And then finally, up here we've got some chases of Minato, Law, Itachi, Alaka and Shanks, which is cool. And there we go, guys. Thank you for sticking around to the end if you've made it this far. Please subscribe to the channel, new channel. Would love you guys to comment and tell me what series you enjoy from my collection, what you haven't read, what you want in your collection. Just some general chit chat. I'll be replying to comments, and yeah, thank you for even watching the video in the first place. It's really hard to get a YouTube channel off the ground initially, so hopefully some people find this. And yeah, until the next one, my guys, I'm the Great Onigiri Man. Peace out.